Right, Mr. Mayor, I still didn't really hear a response to Assembly Member Roberts' question. Look, we're all friends here. Come on, you've got a packed public gallery. Come on, dish the gossip. Did the Chancellor kick you out of her office? Come on.
No, I wish she did. I mean, it's a great anecdote and a great story to tell. I mean, I said, I don't think I've ever been kicked out of anybody's office in my life. And I was trying to use the analogy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to your office as a result. I quite like the record of not being kicked out, so I'm not going there.
So, Mr. Mayor, I know you were an enormous fan of semantics. You weren't asked to leave. We use kicked out as a rough term. She didn't politely say, all right, Sadiq, come on, I've got my next meeting to get to. She did not ask you to leave her office.
I've often told people to leave because I've got next meeting.
I didn't ask what you do. I asked what the Chancellor did.
I don't know the exact words she used. It was very fraternal, as it always is when I see the Chancellor.
Right. So now we've finally gotten to the bottom of it. She may have asked you to leave her office, but we'll move on. In terms of this story, did you or your team leak the fact that the Chancellor may or may have not have kicked you out of her office?
I can say with confidence that my team doesn't leak.
Good. Well, you might be the only Labour politician that doesn't, Mr. Mayor. Now, you said you have possibly, maybe not post that meeting where you're kicked out of her office, but you have an interesting relationship with the Chancellor. Would you say you're friends?
And if the impression is being created that I'm a forceful champion for London, I quite like that. So can we please make sure that is something that I agree with? If the impression's been left that I will be challenging to Labour Chancellors and Conservative Chancellors, I quite like that as well, because it's true. But I am friends with the Chancellor, but that doesn't mean that I'm not arguing for London. Even though members of the government, including the cabinet, are friends of mine, when it comes to London's needs and priorities, sure, I'll work with the government, whatever colour it is, when it suits London. But I'll be challenging and hold them to account and ask for things, even though they are friends, including the Chancellor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next question is businesses leaving London in the name of Assembly Member Wilson.
Can I thank the member for his question? Despite desperate, unpatriotic attempts by some to talk our capital city down, London remains one of the best places in the world in which to invest, start and scale up a business in. However, I want us to be even more appealing destination for businesses, and that's why, working with London councils, we launched the London Growth Plan earlier this year. And just 10 months since the growth plan was launched, it's already delivering results. We're boosting investment into our most innovative startups to support them to scale. We're rapidly upskilling our workforce, making sure that Londoners have the skills employers need. We're supporting thousands of businesses to thrive and grow through our Grow London and Funding London programmes. And we're bringing together researchers, investors and businesses to attract investment into frontier innovation sectors like life sciences. The impact is clear. London is already turning ambition into achievement, with growth and investment accelerating across our key sectors. I'm not sure how happy Reform are to hear about London's successes, but we're attracting nearly 3 times as many foreign direct investment projects as any other European city. And according to EY, we're leading in Europe for attracting overseas business for a second year in a row. America's biggest bank, JP Morgan Chase, has announced plans for a 3 million square foot landmark tower in Canary Wharf, and Visa is relocating its European headquarters here. This stands as testament to business confidence in London. London's ranked number 1 in Europe and the world's number 2 leading tech city, surpassing San Francisco, according to the latest Yen Smart Centres Index. We've just hosted the biggest life sciences week in London, with over 100 events attracting investors, scale-up and businesses from all over the world. Our position as Europe's life sciences powerhouse is clear, with £1.6 billion in venture capital investment into life science companies so far this year, more than Paris, Stockholm and Berlin combined. And surveys by the accountancy body ICAEW find that London businesses continue to report capital investment growth at an unprecedented pace, with Q3 2025 rates surpassing the city's historical average and expected to accelerate in the year ahead. And according to TripAdvisor, London is the number 1 visitor destination in the world, great for our tourism and hospitality businesses. These results, Chair, are an endorsement of London's continued success and of London's growth plan's vision to accelerate growth and further cement the capital status as a world-leading centre for investment, innovation, business and culture.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you for some of the examples you mentioned there, which I'll pick up on, I'm sure, in due course. But I think first, it's important to say I do welcome any success in London, any success in Britain. I think we all should do that. But it's also crucial to recognise and understand the scale of a very real problem that we do have with businesses of all sizes struggling, and some of those, as a result, leaving London. We have a long and growing list of major companies either delisting or moving their primary listing from London Stock Exchange, or not progressing plans for an IPO in London. In the last few months alone, companies like Diversified Energy, AstraZeneca, Ports Hill Partners, Wise plc, Cobalt, Indivior, Just Eat and Ashtead have all made those decisions since the general election last year. But moving to individuals and SMEs, which are really the lifeblood of the economy, London is losing more high net worth individuals than any other Western city. And according to evidence from Rathbones, 12% of SME leaders are either actively planning to relocate their business themselves or both from the UK. Obviously, that has a huge effect on London. Similarly, surveys from Handelsbanken suggest a staggering 38% of SME owners planning or contemplating leaving the UK. Why do you think they're doing that?
Well, Chair, I'm glad he mentioned that in his opening answer before his question, the successes of our great city. I don't want any business to leave London. Over the last 8 years, I've tried to explain, notwithstanding the consequences of Brexit, why London is the greatest city in the world to start a business, scale up a business and do business. I've got a list.
Perhaps I can help you out. Those very same surveys are giving very clear evidence that the overwhelming driver of that exodus is the rising tax burden compared to better incentives in other countries. And we see the consequences of this in unemployment, which really matters to everybody across the country and here in London. We have unemployment up in every month since Rachel Reeves' first disastrous budget. The last time I spoke on this, I quoted from The Guardian. Now, admittedly, that's not a source I regularly go to, but I quoted from The Guardian today. I'd like to ask you, do you agree, again, not a likely source for me, but one I'm sure you're familiar with, the left-leaning Resolution Foundation, do you agree with their analysis that they're firmly blaming that budget from last year, particularly the national insurance rise, for rising unemployment and, in particular, the impact on younger workers?
Chair, I mean, if I could even get a fraction of the time the members got in terms of the time answering the question. So I'm really proud this government has negotiated a trade deal which will lead to jobs and is pro-business with the USA, with
trade
India,
deal we couldn't do if we were still a member of the European Union.
Yes, we could. Yes, we could. With the United States of America, with India, with the European Union, and with South Korea. By the way, even with these trade deals, the benefits are far less than being members of the European Union. I'm really pleased. We've seen again and again examples of not just interest rates coming down. I'll have to wait and see today what happens in terms of a further cut in interest rates. I think there's been 5 cuts since Rachel Reeves became Chancellor, but also inflation coming down as well. But also, whether it's resident, he prayed in aid, The Guardian, I'll pray in aid, residence consultancy, #1 best city in the world, TripAdvisor, top travel destination, Seatpick, capital of music in the world, resident consultancy, most prosperous city in the world, Dreams OD most searched for holiday destination in the world. Just some examples.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I pick up on an example you said in your opening statement? You mentioned hospitality, which is in an absolute freefall thanks to this government. In London alone, 55 pubs closing last year, similar number projected to close this year. On top of last year's national insurance hike, which has been catastrophic, we now have the crippling effect of the business rates review. Figures from UK Hospitality confirm that the average pub in 27-28 will be paying £4,500 more in business rates, 28-29, £7,000 more. The average hotel, £65,000 more in 27-28 and £111,300 more in 28-29. Do you agree with former Labour donor Sacha Lord when he says that hospitality has been thrown to the wolves by Labour and he bitterly regrets having tweeted that Labour would be the party of business and growth?
I think the hospitality sector has had a rotten 6 years since the pandemic. It's been just awful for those in hospitality, those who work in hospitality, and those who run businesses as well. This didn't just happen in the last year. And by the way, one of the biggest factors hospitality give for staff shortages is a consequence of the extreme hard Brexit deal done.
It's not about staff shortages, it's about the cost of employing them, Mr. Mayor. I'm conscious of the time, so I would just like to finish. We've seen, and we can see every day, Labour's economic record, it's toxic for major investment, it's toxic for SMEs, it's toxic for hospitality. In reference to the last exchange, the last question, Rachel Reeves, whether she threw you out of her office or not. It shouldn't be up to Rachel Reeves to throw anyone out of her office. What we need is a general election so the country as a whole can throw Rachel Reeves out of office. Thank you.
So let's be absolutely clear about what Londoners just heard. On one hand, we're told London is booming, business confidence is sky high, and everything is working perfectly. On the other, companies are leaving, entrepreneurs are packing up, pubs are closing, and small businesses are being crushed by higher taxes, higher business rates, and rising employment costs. This isn't abstract economics. This is jobs lost, wages squeezed, and communities hollowed out. Hospitality, once the backbone of London's social and economic life, is being pushed to the brink. SMEs, the lifeblood of our economy, are openly saying they're considering leaving the UK altogether. And high-net-worth individuals, the people who invest, employ, and build, are already voting with their feet. London doesn't need spin, slogans, or glossy growth plans. It needs honesty, accountability, and policies that actually keep businesses here instead of driving them away. So my question is simple. How many more businesses have to leave London before you admit this economic approach isn't working? And what are you going to change right now to stop the exodus?
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.